Sagittarius, today is not just another day. The cards that have stepped forward for you did not appear out of chance. They feel like they traveled a long way just to meet the right person, you. Judgment rises like a direct call to your heart, revealing a truth you've avoided for too long and now must finally face. The Wheel of Fortune turns a heavy axis, marking the moment you can no longer return to your old emotional landscape. And the Six of Cups, soft but unmistakably clear, whispers that the past is not completely closed. Something, or someone, still has unfinished business with you. If you ignore the warning, you may once again carry a responsibility that was never meant to be yours. If you surrender to nostalgia, you may fall back into cycles that once drained you dry. But if you pause, breathe, and listen to the quiet but insistent voice within your chest, you can step out of an old spiral and walk toward the calling of your true spirit. Don't leave. What remains unspoken is exactly what will change the direction of your life. If this energy touches you even a little, leave one simple but powerful sentence in the comments, not for the algorithm, but as a conscious act of alignment. Today, I choose truth and let it guide me. Come closer, Sagittarius. Don't stand far away the way you often do when things get too real. These cards aren't just telling a story. They're continuing a chapter you quietly abandoned long ago. I speak to you with the calm of someone who has stood at many horizons and crossroads, and with the understanding reserved for souls like yours, souls who crave freedom yet often bind themselves with promises they no longer want to keep. I lay down the cloth, shuffle the cards slowly, without haste. And when the first card reveals itself, judgment, the air seems to thicken, as if something long hidden is trying to rise to the surface. Friday, the 21st, brings clarity, sharp, undeniable clarity. A moment where half-truths, avoidance, and emotional disguises can no longer survive. Judgment does not accuse you. It does not punish you. It simply illuminates the exact place where you've been feeling uneasy. That soft warning rising from your stomach into your chest, the one you tried to dismiss. You don't have to describe it. Just acknowledge that you felt it. Because when truth speaks, it comes with the intention to realign. And in that realignment, order returns. I turn over the second card, the Wheel of Fortune, and it stands like a divine clock, striking the right hour at last. Don't let fear guide you. This wheel is not here to take away what you love. It's here to pull you out of what has quietly exhausted you. The 21st opens a shift you cannot stop, and that shift is a blessing. Life sometimes has to shake you awake so you release what you've been clutching out of habit, fear, or loyalty. You've carried too much in silence, like someone who keeps walking forward even with tired legs, just because you don't want to disappoint anyone. But Sagittarius, the freedom you value most isn't only found in travel, adventure, or wide-open skies. It's also found in the ability to say, "I can't do this anymore," without guilt. Be honest with yourself. What will break you if you continue holding it? Naming your burden is the first step toward releasing it. Then the Six of Cups appears, and a gentle but profound vibration runs through the room. This is not the kind of memory that hurts the way it used to. It's something softer, a lingering echo of someone who once mattered in ways you didn't fully understand at the time. There is a presence thinking of you, not randomly, not imagined, A familiar frequency that you recognize instantly because it once touched your tenderest places. Around the 21st, that energy will move. A sign, a message, a coincidence too precise to ignore. Or a face that crosses your mind without being summoned. Don't force it away. Just acknowledge it. Notice what it awakens inside you, what longing, what need for closure, what truth you are finally ready to face like an adult who chooses honesty over avoidance. The next card arrives with a deep, quiet exhale, the 10 of Wands, the map of burdens you've carried far too long. How many times have you said, "I'm fine," while your spirit was collapsing under the weight? How many times have you been the pillar for everyone else while forgetting you, too, need a place to lean on? This card signals the end of over-functioning, over-giving, over-sacrificing. And the 21st opens a doorway for you to release what was never yours to carry. To say no more, kindly but firmly. Then the Ace of Wands steps in like a flame being reignited after a long, dark night. I can feel a new spark rising within you, a desire you thought you had abandoned, now returning with life and hunger. This is a rebirth that isn't loud, but deep of returning to your wild, honest, unfiltered self. If you felt a strange inner pull, a sudden curiosity, a stirring dream waking up, trust it. Intuition often walks ahead of logic. And then, the star. When I placed my hand on this card, something in the room softened, as if the universe itself leaned closer to breathe with you. The star reminds you that the most beautiful things, even when broken, never really die. They sleep. The dreams you thought were too late, the opportunities you believed were gone, the connections you thought impossible to heal, they can return in a purer, gentler form if you look at them without resentment. So let me ask you this. If one thing in your life could return clean, healed, renewed, what would you want it to be? Don't be afraid to answer. Hope is not naive. Hope is the memory of the soul. And finally, the Ace of Swords appears, standing alone, sharp as a blade, slicing through fog. This is the card of clarity, of conversations that can no longer be postponed. But before you speak to anyone else, you must speak the truth to yourself. The Ace of Swords helps you name the emotions you buried beneath silence. It creates space for words that are honest, direct, respectful, without circling around or hiding behind softness. Sagittarius, the 21st, does not take anything away from you. It simply gives you back something you forgot, yourself. This is not a debate, Sagittarius. This is the moment you define yourself. The moment you say yes to what lifts you up and no to what pulls you down. This is the moment you call your feelings by their real names and acknowledge the needs you've been holding back, not because you're weak, but because you were afraid someone would be disappointed, or afraid of what might erupt if you spoke your truth. But remember, silence is also a choice. And the Ace of Swords steps forward to return your right to choose, with a mind as clear as fire on a mountain peak at night. Allow yourself to be honest, and don't apologize for speaking what feels true in your soul. The moment I brushed aside that old layer of hesitation, the card opened a door you didn't even need to push. It felt like the final lock clicked into place, and the door swung open with nothing but a breath. And what's moving toward you now isn't just emotion. It's material. It's work. It's stability trying to find its place again in your life. Something real, something solid, is beginning to shift as this Friday approaches. This opportunity doesn't come with the noise of something temporary. It has the heartbeat of something built slowly, steadily, on a foundation that cannot be shaken. Maybe a project you thought was stalled will regain momentum. Maybe an offer, a resource, or unexpected support will appear. Not to change everything overnight, but to rebuild one of the pillars that holds your long-term freedom. And let me ask, you, even if only in your thoughts, what are you waiting for before you finally begin living the life you want? What door do you need to see open so your chest feels lighter each morning? Picture it. Acknowledge it. Because the Ace of Pentacles always rewards those who prepare their hearts to receive. And then, when I drew the next card, the Eight of Cups, I felt a deep breath, like someone returning home after a long journey, finally taking off the heavy coat weighing on their shoulders. This message isn't about running away. It's about growing up. About that quiet moment when you turn away from what exhausts you and walk toward what honors your true worth. You are not giving up. You are simply releasing what no longer feeds the life growing inside you. Sometimes, self-respect is expressed in a single step, a step no one else will understand unless they've walked the same hill you're climbing now. So tell me, what do you think you've already started to let go of? A bond? An expectation? A promise that lasted too long? Or a rule you set for yourself when you were younger? One that no longer fits who you are becoming? Write it down. Name it. Because the moment you call a burden by its real name, it loses its weight. And you deserve that kind of lightness. But before we continue, I want you to join me in a small moment of pure strength, a simple ritual to anchor you into what is right. Place one hand over your chest and say out loud in any voice you have, "With the light that lives in me, I declare that truth will arrive gently. It frees me without pain and guides me toward the path that belongs to my destiny." Feel how those words rearrange your emotions and soften the heaviness of these past few days. This isn't magic. It's intention placed exactly where it needs to be. And if your heart whispered, "Yes, this is mine," then give yourself the gift of simple care every day. Don't open conversations that aren't ready. Don't force open doors that will unlock themselves in a few hours. Don't punish yourself for remembering someone your soul has not fully released. And above all, don't deny yourself the right to emotional rest. You are standing at the threshold of a major recalibration, and your intuition, your greatest Sagittarius power, is reminding you that the deepest changes always begin in silence before they show themselves to the world. This Friday will not be like the others. It is a soft but decisive turning point, a moment when long scattered pieces begin to click into place. To help you see the full tapestry being woven around you, let me return to each card for a moment. Judgment asks you to recognize a truth that has been beating in your chest. Don't use that truth to punish yourself. Use it to choose better. The Wheel of Fortune shifts your path, inviting you to trust a movement designed to help you even if it pulls you. out of your comfort zone. The Six of Cups calls back a memory that needs to be reorganized with honesty, so it does not become a maze. The Ten of Wands reminds you to release burdens you were never meant to carry alone. The Ace of Wands reignites your spark, your initiative, your hunger to build something that is yours. The Star shows a dream that deserves another chance, this time without illusions. The Ace of Swords gives you the words for the conversations that open your next chapter. The Ace of Pentacles hands you the key to stabilize your material world. And the Eight of Cups confirms your right to walk away from what no longer feels like home. I know you often go quiet when you're tired, because you've always been the strong one for everyone else. And I know you rarely ask for help, because you're used to being the guide. But right now, clarity without conflict is your greatest ally. If something must be said, say it with respect and clear boundaries. If something must be released, release it softly, without blame. If something returns, look at it with new eyes, not with old wounds. If something begins, start with small, steady steps. Don't let impatience steal the peace you've worked so hard to reclaim. And before the night ends, if you can, write only 3 lines. 1 line, naming the truth you accept. 1 line naming the burden you're letting go. 1 line naming the door you choose to walk through. You don't need to show it to anyone. Paper is always clearer than the mind. When you wake up, read your vow again. Breathe deeply. Don't rush. Let life do its part. And before we close this chapter, I want you to commit to 1 simple line, soft but powerful, like someone who finally understands their own worth. I release what is not mine to carry, and I welcome what I deserve. Write it as if you're signing a gentle contract with yourself. I look at you, Sagittarius, at the spread of cards resting on the cloth, and I see someone beginning to hold exactly the weight that belongs to them. No more, no less. And I know that very soon, you'll look back on this day with the quiet kind of smile, the kind that appears when exhaustion finally gives way to a calm, steady clarity, the kind of clarity that rises like the first light of dawn. It urges you to think about that honest conversation you'll eventually have to walk into, about the unexpected message that may arrive from the day before, about the physical doorway that will give you a quiet enough space to hear yourself again, and about that brave moment when you turn around and say, "Enough. All of these movements belong to a larger rhythm, a current pulling you away from paths that have dried out and guiding you towards something truer." And you, the one who reads life's signals the way others read the wind, you'll know the timing of each moment without forcing anything, without worrying. Listen to this calling, always, because there is one detail I have intentionally held back, a small missing piece that will make everything brighten with deeper meaning, as if scattered fragments finally snap into place. When it falls into position, the full picture of what's unfolding before you will reveal itself clearly. I won't say it now. I want it to arrive at its own time, with the clarity it deserves, so your heart can receive it without being overwhelmed. And so you understand that, from the 21st onward, your path will be illuminated in the way you've longed for, even if you never dared to speak it out loud. When I set the card aside, The next one glowed as if it had been waiting patiently for the exact moment your maturity was ready to open the door for it. The first thing I felt was an unseen presence, a quiet guardian that has walked beside you long before you realized it. A noble vibration, ancient as the desert, free as the winds you've chased your whole life, gentle as the voice inside you when the world grows too loud. Your Sagittarian soul recognizes immediately what protects it, what lifts it, what feels like coming home after a long journey. It's not a person of flesh and bone. It's a pure energy, a force awakened whenever life shifts direction. When the gears of destiny turn and you need a flame to guide you through the dark, it returns stronger, as if making sure you do not walk this transformation alone. And I, after years of listening to messages like this, feel a soft warmth behind my back, a delicate touch that can only come from a place that intends to protect you. I want you to listen to your own heartbeat and ask yourself, have you felt that invisible touch these past few days? Those thoughts that keep returning when you least expect it? That persistent dream reminding you of something unfinished? That feeling of not being completely alone when you look out the window? You know it. Well, signs like these never appear by accident. And as that thin layer of mist settles, another card reveals a movement that has waited a long time to speak. I'm not talking about urgency or overwhelming intensity. I'm talking about steady progress, peaceful progress, like a wave pausing to breathe before returning to kiss the shore, quietly, gently, without demand. I see agreements being finalized, conversations becoming lighter, decisions made without drama and without inner battles. And the best part is this: none of it requires you to push harder. In fact, the moment you stop forcing yourself to carry what has already passed its limit, everything settles back into place like stones finding their rightful ground. Life is whispering to you softly that you've already done enough. You've given more than necessary. And now, it is time to let fate do its part. This conscious surrender will bring you the kind of rest you forgot you deserved, like the first deep breath after your chest has been held too tight for far too long. As I matched that rhythm, another card asked me to close my eyes for a moment, the way one listens with the heart, not the eyes. It speaks of a new sweetness entering your life. Not necessarily romantic, though it could take that form if everything aligns, but a gentle presence, honest, steady, someone or something that softens your tired days. I see a tender gesture, a conversation without effort, a connection that asks for nothing. It arrives in silence, with no demands, no interrogations, no expectations. And I think of your Sagittarian heart, a heart that has sheltered so many others, and how deeply it deserves a presence that takes nothing and only gives a companionship that doesn't steal your freedom, but expands it. Then a clarity spreads, not sharp, not blinding, but like cool morning air filling the house when you open a window at dawn. A clarity that helps you see what nourishes you and what drains you, what strengthens your fire and what dims it, what aligns with the natural rhythm of your spirit and what no longer deserves your time. This light isn't harsh. It's the sun that triumphs overnight, showing you that everything in your inner room is slowly returning to where it belongs. And as that light moves into your energy, the rest of the message breathes, as if the cards themselves know there is still one more important truth that needs its voice. The flow continues, steadfast like a quiet river, not loud, not demanding, but always moving forward. The cards are not done. There is a presence growing stronger, a promise not yet fully revealed, but already painting the horizon with the first colors of a new day. And I remain here, still, letting the secrets unfold through the sensations in my palms. I hear a whisper not from a mouth, but from someplace deep. Stay here a little longer, because what is opening now needs silence, and needs a soul ready to receive it right where we left off. That light isn't harsh. It feels like the gentle sun after a long storm, slipping into your messy room and showing you that everything is finally finding its place again. As that clarity seeps into your energy, the remaining cards exhale as if the whole deck knows there is still one more truth to speak, one more message searching for its voice. The current continues, steady as a quiet river, not loud, not demanding, but always moving forward. There is a presence growing, a promise not yet fully bloomed, but already outlining your horizon with the light of a new day. I stay still, not moving, just listening to each whisper. A message rises from somewhere very deep. Stay here, right in this moment, because what is opening now needs silence, and needs a heart as wide and honest as your Sagittarian nature. And then, as if the universe knows you're ready, the next card glows with a warm wave. It carries a blessing that has been incubating for a long, long time, finally finding its way to you. Not explosive, not overwhelming. It arrives like an embrace, a gentle painkiller, a light that brings your spirit back to life. I see a door opening slowly. Behind that door is something that belongs to you, an opportunity, a relief, a restoration you have worked toward for so long, quietly, without asking for applause. What's coming isn't small. It's steady, clear, grounded. It makes you breathe deeper, like filling your lungs for the first time after years of merely surviving. Behind that light, another card vibrates with peaceful certainty. And I see an image, a Sagittarius who finally feels seen, finally feels understood. Not because of obligation, not because of sacrifice, but because you are beginning to attract those who recognize your honesty, your loyalty, and your enormous heart. Circumstances around you begin to soften, as if life itself declares that it is finally time for you to rest. And then another card appears, a reminder of your identity. You are no longer the one who dims your light to keep everyone comfortable. No longer the one who overextends yourself to maintain peace. You are being reborn with a strength that is soft but deep, not to overpower anyone, but to remind you of your true worth. If this touches your heart, repeat this sacred declaration, a gentle vow to yourself. I release what does not belong to me. I welcome the guidance and the goodness that were always meant for me. Take a deep breath. Feel those words settle into their rightful place inside your chest. The final message the card offers is hope. Not vague hope, but a quiet promise of a future where you reconcile with yourself, where your heart grows lighter, where the path ahead becomes easier not because life is perfect, but because you've chosen to lay down the burdens that were never yours to carry. You were never alone. And from the 21st onward, you will feel that more clearly than ever before.